Pieces of the Past is the latest in a series of games that have come out in really quick succession that all revolve around repairing or cleaning items of sentimental value. And in Pieces of the Past, it's all about a family shop home hybrid building. And so you start out in this kind of library book area, which is set up like a shop, and you'll be asked to go around and repair different items in it. And every time you repair or clean an item, it will then give you a short like piece of paper detailing the memory about the item, and then you move on to the next one. And then once you do that, the home opens up in the background for you to then go into each room of the house, which is dedicated to a family member. Very strange, this building, I must admit. Where's the kitchen? Where's the bathroom? It's just everyone lives in a room all by themselves. Seems a bit strange. But anyway, as you move around, you'll then clean or repair different items to that person to try and give you a bit of their personality. The issue with Pieces of the Past is not necessarily around the setup, because it's quite quaint and cute and lo-fi and cosy. My problem with Pieces of the Past is its non-existent difficulty. I'm all for games being cute and cosy and removing barriers where possible. But this game, although it has no tutorialization whatsoever, and so for the very first time that you pick up a item or an object, you don't know how it works. You just kind of have to like waggle it around the screen. This game takes the we-ware shovelware approach, is what I'm going to call it, because you just kind of pick up one object and there'll be like 3 globules of mud on it. And so you pick up the kind of toothbrush or the like little mini drill filer and just hover it over it and press the left mouse button to click. And after a couple of seconds, it's all gone. And then you've completed the level. And you think, oh, was that it? Must be a good tutorial. Nope. Loads of the puzzles are like that. And then there'll be a few other ones where you might have to take a few things apart and then put it back together again with some replacement parts. But because it highlights everything so very clearly, and it's just clicking and dragging and kind of pulling things off, everything then auto locks to the place where it's meant to be. And so if you're putting together the Rubik's Cube, or you're trying to put all the buttons and the sewing machines in the right place, or you're trying to shine up some pennies, it all kind of does it for you. And so there's no real challenge or puzzle to undo, because they're all so tiny and succinct and on autopilot and autoplay. There's nothing really that you're doing. So all that remains is the cozy vibe. And because the cozy vibe doesn't extend too well in this game, because there's very little story, there's very little to go on, the environmental storytelling is fairly non-existent because each of the rooms are quite bare bones. And I completed this game in under an hour. I really struggle to recommend Pieces of the Past beyond anyone that absolutely laps up these types of experiences and just wants another one, because whilst I applaud the fact that there's a bit of cleaning, a bit of organising and a bit of repair, they're all so surface level and so quick to do that you'll be in and out of each puzzle in under 60 seconds for the vast majority of them. And so it's really difficult to recommend. So my comment, I think, to cozy game developers is be careful that you don't remove all of the barriers and complexity from your game to the point where actually being cute and cozy isn't enough, because there's nothing going on in the game that actually scratches an itch in your brain or gives you that sense of achievement. For me, I was just idly clicking things randomly and then getting the reward. And that, to me, didn't seem like a great use of all of the potential of the mechanics that Pieces of the Past had.